She used my credit card for a business trip, but I saw the beach photos on her friend's Instagram. I didn't confront her. I just called the bank and reported the card stolen. Her frantic call from Mexico was the best call I've ever received. I was scrolling through Instagram when I saw it. A photo of my girlfriend on a beach, cocktail in hand, sunset behind her. She looked happy, relaxed. The caption from her friend Taylor said, "Mexico vibes with my girl." Posted 2 hours ago. The problem? Lauren told me she was in Phoenix for a business conference. Said she'd be gone 4 days. Asked to borrow my credit card because hers was maxed out from moving expenses. Promised she'd pay me back when her commission check came through next week. I'd given it to her. Watched her book the trip. Fairmont, Phoenix. 4 nights conference rate. Flight leaving yesterday morning. Except she wasn't in Phoenix. She was in Mexico with Taylor. And I had proof. I'm Marcus. I'm 34. Work in logistics. Been with Lauren for 2 years. She's 31. Does pharmaceutical sales, or says she does. Her income swings wildly. Some months flush, other months broke. Always an explanation. I'd started noticing patterns about 6 months ago. The constant borrowing, the vague answers about work, the expensive tastes on an inconsistent budget. But I'd ignored it, made excuses, told myself relationships require compromise, that helping your partner is what you do. I'd been wrong about that. Very wrong. I took screenshots of Taylor's posts, not just the beach photo. All of them. Lauren by the pool. Lauren at a resort bar. Lauren on a boat. 6 photos total. All clearly Mexico. All posted in the last 3 hours. All with geotags. Cabo San Lucas. Then I did something I'm not proud of but had been thinking about for weeks. I opened Lauren's laptop. She'd left it at my place. Used it here more than her own apartment. The password was easy. Her birthday plus her cat's name. Same password she used for everything. Her email was already open. I started reading, not randomly looking for something specific. Her work emails, her commission statements, her sales reports, because something hadn't been adding up. Her stories about work never quite lined up. The company she mentioned, the conferences that seemed to happen every other month, the training sessions that required travel. What I found was worse than I expected. Lauren didn't work for a pharmaceutical company, at least not anymore. She'd been laid off 8 months ago. 8 months. There were termination papers, severance agreement, everything dated back to January. It was September now. 8 months of lies, 8 months of fake work stories, fake business trips, fake commission checks that were always coming next week. I kept digging. Found her bank statements. The severance money was gone. Spent over the spring. Credit cards maxed. Overdraft fees piling up. She was broke. Had been for months. Then I found something else. Travel bookings. Not Phoenix. Never Phoenix. Cabo San Lucas booked 3 weeks ago. Round trip for 2. Lauren and Taylor resort package. All-inclusive total cost on my credit card that she'd used yesterday, except she'd lied about the destination, the hotel, everything. I sat there for a long time just processing. 2 years. I'd spent 2 years with someone who could lie that easily, that completely, who could look me in the eye and create an entire fictional life, who could borrow money for fake business trips while actually unemployed. The anger came later. First was just this cold clarity, like everything suddenly made sense. Every weird inconsistency, every vague answer, every time she'd been defensive when I asked about work, it all fit now. I took photos of everything. The termination papers, the bank statements, the Mexico booking, the emails where she and Taylor planned the trip, discussed using my card, laughed about the Phoenix story, how I'd believe anything, how easy I was. That hurt worse than the money that they'd laughed about it, about me, about how gullible I was. I closed the laptop, called my credit card company, told them I needed to report unauthorized charges. The representative asked what happened. I explained that I'd given my girlfriend permission to book a specific trip to Phoenix for work. She'd instead booked Mexico for vacation without telling me, using different dates and a different hotel than we discussed. The rep was quiet for a moment, then said that was a complicated situation. Technically I'd authorized her to use the card, but not for those specific charges. She suggested I try to resolve it directly first. If I couldn't, I could file a dispute for charges that weren't what was agreed upon, but it would require documentation. I had documentation. I thanked her. Said I'd handle it directly first. Then I asked her to deactivate the card, not report it stolen, just turn it off. She did. Said it would take effect immediately. Then I got to work. I didn't pack Lauren's things. Didn't change locks. Did something else, something more permanent. I called my buddy Derek, who does property management. Asked if he had any units available. He had a studio month-to-month available immediately. I said, I'd take it. Could I move someone's stuff in today? He said, sure. Gave me the address and access code. I spent the next 4 hours moving every single thing Lauren owned out of my apartment. Every piece of clothing, every toiletry, every book, every random item she'd slowly migrated to my place over 2 years. I packed it carefully, labeled every box, moved it all to the studio apartment. Dear Rick had ready set it up neatly, left her a note with the address and the access code. The note was simple. Your things are at this address. First month's rent is paid. After that you're on your own. We're done. Don't contact me. Then I changed my locks. All of them. Changed my passwords, every account, every login. Made sure she had no access to anything of mine. By the time I finished, it was evening. I made dinner, worked out, went to bed early, slept better than I had in months. My phone started ringing around noon the next day. Unknown numbers. I didn't answer. Let them go to voicemail. Lauren's voice, panicked, confused. The credit card wasn't working. She couldn't get cash. She couldn't charge anything. What happened? This was an emergency. I needed to call back. I deleted the voicemails without finishing them. Blocked the numbers. More calls came. Taylor's phone. Other numbers I didn't recognize. I blocked them all. Then I turned off my phone for the rest of the day. That evening I turned it back on. Found a string of texts from Lauren's mom asking what was going on. Why wasn't I answering? Lauren needed help. I needed to call her back. I responded once, told her Lauren could explain everything, that I was no longer involved, that I'd moved Lauren's belongings to a safe location and paid first month's rent. She was welcome to help her daughter figure out the rest. Then I blocked her too. The next morning I went to work like normal. Around 10 o'clock my office phone rang. Front desk said someone named Lauren was here to see me. I said I wasn't available. She said Lauren was insisting, making a scene. I told them to call building security if she didn't leave. She left. She tried again at lunch. I saw her in the parking lot waiting by my truck. I turned around, went back inside, had security walked me to my vehicle. An hour later she was gone. That evening she was waiting outside my apartment building. I saw her from a block away, parked around the corner, called my building security. They came down, explained she wasn't a resident and needed to leave the property. She argued. They asked if she wanted them to call the police. She left. Day 4 my lawyer's office called. Lauren had retained an attorney. They wanted to discuss the credit card charges and her belongings. I gave them my lawyer's name, said all communication goes through him now. My lawyer called an hour later, asked what happened. I explained everything, sent him the screenshots, the emails, the bank statements, the termination papers, everything I'd found. He said I was in the clear. I deactivated my card, which was my right. I'd moved her belongings to a safe location and paid rent. I hadn't kept anything, hadn't damaged anything. I'd done nothing illegal. He said her lawyer was claiming emotional distress, that I'd abandoned her in Mexico with no money. He'd laughed. Said she was an adult who'd lied about her destination, not my responsibility. He'd handle it. The legal threat stopped after that. Guess her lawyer explained reality to her. Day 5 I got an email from Taylor. Long message about how I was a terrible person, how I'd humiliated Lauren, left her stranded, ruined her vacation, made her borrow money from her parents to get home. I was cruel, heartless. She hoped I was happy with myself. I replied with one sentence. You knew she was lying to me and helped her do it. That makes you complicit. Lose my email address. Day 7. Lauren showed up at my parents' house. My mom called, said Lauren was on their doorstep crying, begging them to talk to me. My mom asked what happened. I gave her the short version. Unemployed for 8 months. Borrowed money under false pretenses. Lied about everything. My mom said she'd handle it. Called me back 10 minutes later. Said she'd sent Lauren away. Told her if she showed up again they'd call the police. My mom asked if I was okay. I said I was better than okay. She said she was proud of me for not letting someone take advantage. That it couldn't have been easy but I'd done the right thing. That helped more than I expected. 2 weeks in, Lauren sent a letter to my apartment building, held it at the desk. I picked it up, opened it in the lobby, read it standing there. Long letter, 5 pages. She was sorry. She'd made mistakes, lost her job and panicked. Didn't know how to tell me. Kept pretending everything was fine. The lies spiraled. She knew she'd hurt me, betrayed my trust. She wasn't asking for another chance. Just wanted me to know she was sorry, that she understood why I'd walked away. The last page was different. She'd gotten a job, Real One Retail Management, starting next week. She was moving back to her parents' place, getting her life together, paying off her debts. She said she'd pay me back everything she owed, however long it took, even if I never spoke to her again. I almost threw the letter away, but something stopped me. Maybe it was the tone. Different from the desperate voicemails. More honest, more aware. I folded it up, put it in my truck, didn't respond but didn't trash it either. 3 weeks in, I was at the gym when I ran into someone from Lauren's old company, guy named Brad. We'd met at a holiday party 2 years ago. He asked how Lauren was doing, if she'd found something new yet. I said we'd broken up. He looked uncomfortable. Said he was sorry to hear that. Then he said something interesting. Said he'd always thought Lauren was talented, just made some bad choices, office politics stuff. She'd been given warnings but didn't take them seriously. Eventually management had to let her go. I asked what he meant by bad choices. He hesitated, then said she'd been falsifying sales numbers. Not hugely, just padding her reports, making quotas she wasn't actually hitting. When they audited her accounts it all fell apart. She'd been terminated for cause. No recommendation, no second chance. That explained a lot. Why she couldn't find another farmer job. Why she kept the whole thing secret. It wasn't just unemployment. It was a termination for ethics violations. In an industry where reputation matters, she was blacklisted. I thanked Brad for the information. He said he probably shouldn't have told me. I said it was fine. It just confirmed what I already knew. That Lauren had been lying long before she'd lied to me. 1 month post-Mexico, I started seeing someone new. Her name is Angela. She's an accountant. Met her through a friend. We went out for coffee, then dinner, then a second dinner. She was different from Lauren. Quiet, thoughtful, asked questions and actually listened to answers, paid for her own meals without making it a thing. On our 3rd date she asked about my last relationship, why it ended. I gave her the condensed version. She nodded, said she understood. Then she asked if I was over it, if I was ready to date. I thought about it, told her honestly I wasn't sure. The betrayal was still fresh. The anger had mostly faded, but the distrust was still there. She deserved to know that. She appreciated the honesty. Said she'd been through something similar. Ex-boyfriend who'd run up her credit cards left her with debt and trust issues. She understood the work it took to rebuild that. If I wanted to take things slow, she was okay with that. I did want to take things slow. She was okay with it. We kept seeing each other. No pressure, no expectations, just 2 people getting to know each other. 2 months later I got a check in the mail from Lauren. $200. Note said, first payment. More coming. I stared at it for a while. She actually meant it. She was actually paying me back. I deposited the check, didn't respond, but I kept the payment schedule. She'd included small amounts every 2 weeks. It would take 2 years to repay everything, but she'd apparently done the math. Angela asked about it. I showed her the check. She said that was a good sign, that Lauren was trying to make things right. Even though we'd never speak again, it showed growth, accountability. I agreed. The payments kept coming. $200 every 2 weeks like clockwork. Never a day late, never a message attached, just the checks. By month 4 I'd gotten 8 of them. $1,600 back. I never reached out, never acknowledged them beyond depositing them. That was the deal. She'd pay me back. I'd move on. No contact, no reconciliation, just a debt being repaid. Angela and I are doing well. 6 months in and it's steady healthy. She met my parents last month. They loved her. My mom said she had a good feeling about this one. That Angela seemed solid. I thought so too. Sometimes I wonder if Lauren's doing okay if she kept the job, if she's actually getting her life together. Then I remember it's not my problem anymore. She made her choices. I made mine. The Mexico trip was the catalyst, the moment I couldn't ignore anymore. But the real problem was the 8 months before that. The lies, the fake life, the willingness to deceive someone who trusted her. Some people can come back from that. Rebuild trust, work through it. I'm not one of those people. When someone shows you they can lie that comprehensively, that easily, for that long, you believe them. That's who they are. Maybe they can change. But you don't have to stick around to find out. The revenge wasn't freezing her card. That was just self-protection. The revenge was moving on completely. Building a better life. Finding someone who doesn't need to lie. Who doesn't see me as a resource to be managed. Who treats me like a partner. Lauren lost more than a boyfriend when I walked away. She lost someone who'd believed in her, who'd supported her even when things didn't add up, who'd been patient and understanding. She won't find that again easily, especially not now. Not with her history. And me, I learned something valuable. Trust your instincts. When things don't add up, dig deeper. When someone's stories keep changing, there's a reason. And when you catch someone in a lie that big, don't wait around for an explanation. Just walk away. Clean and final. That's the real power. Not revenge. Just the absolute refusal to accept disrespect. The willingness to walk away from someone you care about because you care about yourself more. Lauren's living with her parents, working retail, paying off debts. That's not punishment I inflicted. That's consequences she earned. Natural results of her choices. I didn't have to do anything except stop being her safety net. The credit card is in my wallet. New number. Haven't let anyone else use it. Don't plan to. Some lessons cost $1,800. Some lessons are worth every penny. Angela and I are talking about moving in together, taking the next step. I'm not scared, not worried she's hiding something, because she's shown me consistently who she is through actions, through honesty, through the way she handles conflict and addresses problems head on. That's what I was missing with Lauren. That fundamental honesty, that willingness to be real even when it's uncomfortable. Angela has it. Lauren didn't. That makes all the difference. The frantic call from Mexico never came. Not in the way the title suggested. No panic, no drama, just a realization when the card stopped working, followed by a scramble to find alternatives. Her mom wired money. She got home, figured it out. But the call I did get weeks later from my mom saying Lauren had shown up crying. That was satisfying. Not because Lauren was hurting, because it meant my family had my back. Because it meant the boundaries were real and enforced. Sometimes revenge is just living well, moving on, being happy, finding something better, letting the person who wronged you see that you didn't need them to thrive, that you're actually better without them. That's where I am now. Better, stronger, smarter, with someone who values me. That's the best revenge there.